Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've been here in Oslo for the Nobel ceremony with Corina Machado, and a lot of things have happened. So first of all, obviously she didn't arrive in time, but the ceremony was absolutely emotional outside, where hundreds and hundreds of Venezuelans had arrived from all over the world to take part in this historic event. Because this is really the first time the world has paid attention to the struggle for democracy in Venezuela, which has been going on for more than 20 years. And now we went to the museum on the 9th, a preview for the press. And I discovered that there was an error. They had put in something that really is part of the regime propaganda. But I talked to the director of the museum and he said, wow, it's so hard to find information about this, but now that you point it out to us, we will correct it because we don't want false information here. So the regime is very, very good at, or bad at, depending on from what perspective you see it, diffusing and propaganda. It's a tremendous amount of propaganda. And the method they use is saturate the media, the social media. For every video on YouTube that tells the truth about the 11th of April 2002, you will find hundreds of videos higher up in the feed that propagate the lie. So that was the first little victory to make that happen. And then on the 10th, we had the ceremony outside, very emotional. I was taking photos for Comando Venezuela, the group of Corina Machado, and we got some very emotional face close-up pictures of people crying, all kinds of emotions when they saw that happen.
And the jefa de calle replied, "My only son who fled to Peru asked me to be here today. He told me that if Maria Corina wins, he will return home. Tell me what I have to do. I'll do anything." That day, love defeated fear.
And the fact that Maria Corina didn't arrive in time really did not hurt the ceremony, because her daughter read her speech very good, maybe better even than she could, since she speaks flawless English. Ever since the first torchlight procession in 1954, this has been a central part of the Nobel Peace Prize celebrations in Oslo. But this year, 2025, for the first time, the organizers refused to hold it. They believed that there would be no torchlight procession. However, the Venezuelans organized it themselves, and it seems to be one of the biggest ever. So it has been a tremendous emotional week, this. But the most important thing is that I forgot the main thing. Because here, we were waiting here after the ceremony on the 10th. And eventually, Maria Corina Machado came out on that balcony, and she went down and she went around and greeted and hugged everybody she could reach.
¡Esto es por Venezuela! ¡Corina, te queremos!
And then in the afternoon of the 11th, we went to the forum of the university, which is over here, University of Oslo, and listened to a forum about democracy. Very interesting, with experts. Finally, we got to hear the truth that there was no coup d'etat on the 11th of April 2002. And we got to hear that this is the time in a century where democracy is most on the retreat. Not even in the 1930s, the situation was so bad for democracies in the world. And we got to hear from someone who is an expert, not Venezuelan, I forgot if he's from the US or where, who said that this all started with Russia and Venezuela in the 1990s. What we have been crying for the world for years finally got out in an international televised broadcast from the Oslo Peace Forum. And then we also saw the granddaughters of Desmond Tutu and Martin Luther King, who I got a chance to talk a little with, and Martin Luther King's daughter. Although I almost forgot, the very important lesson from the Peace Forum is that this affects us, because the autocracies are trying to take over the whole world, democracy after democracy, and autocracies cooperate. Democracies do not, and that is a fatal flaw that we have. And that is something we have been trying to make the world aware of for many, many years. Personally, for 15 years, we have to get the democracies to help the people in other democracies when they are under threat. Democracies absolutely have to help other democracies. For instance, we had for years trying to get help from outside for the Venezuelan struggle, and it was totally impossible. The only country that has come to help is the United States under Donald Trump. And that, I think, should be a wake-up bell for all the democracies. You see, we have a people fighting for their survival, and the only one willing to help is one who Europe called an autocrat. When will democracies start to help democracies? The Venezuelan people should liberate themselves. It should not be done by an outside power, because when one country liberates another, it's really, they take control of the economic wheels of that country. So the people have to liberate themselves. But people can't liberate themselves against a heavily armed dictatorship without weapons. It's not, hopefully, necessary to use those weapons, but if there is no credible threat or force for the regime, they have absolutely no reason to leave power, or even to stop putting people in jail or to kill them. They will just go on. So we need to help them. And that is something I hope will come out of this Nobel Peace Prize and this week. So now I'm going to go back, edit this, and put it on YouTube for you to see. Thank you for following, and please help diffuse this information for the world. because we really need to pay attention. Oh, Maria Corina just came out. Let's see if I can give her a message.
Vamos a llevar ese premio que es de todos los venezolanos. Sí.
Amén.
Así es. Los quiero mucho. Mucha fuerza. Y Venezuela será libre pronto y vamos a unificar toda nuestra familia. Y esos muchachitos van a ser allá en Puerto Nada.
Así es, así es. Y rescatar la democracia mundial.
Así es, así es. Y Venezuela es un ejemplo
Sí, exacto.
de lo que una sociedad que ha vivido todo esto.
Así es.
So, with that, I will finish. And thank you for watching, and please spread. Thank you.